Hey, yo, what up? I'm Josh Martinez of the Superstar Crossover on iHeartRadio and Z100, New York's #1 hit music station, with our guest, TBS champion, Mercedes. You pronounce it Moné.
Moné.
Let's just jump right into it. Forbidden Door,
Yes.
this Sunday. Stephanie Vicaire, you're going up against. Title for title.
Yeah.
So you could
that
be
is nerve-wracking.
You could be Mercedes Two Belts. Do we have that hashtag ready to go?
Yes.
We got the marketing
It's
ready?
Two Belts Moné.
Two Belts Moné.
Yay,
Okay.
Yes.
I like it. So it's here on Long Island. This is your second pay-per-view event with AEW, the first one. You got that.
I won the TBS title, baby, against Willow, which was so crazy. I was so nervous.
Really?
Yeah, because it was it's been almost a year and like 4 days before at Double or Nothing since I've been in a ring or performed. So it was a long time coming, and it was almost just proving to myself again that I got this and I got the confidence. So now this next time around at Forbidden Door, I'm like, I'm really ready. I'm really excited, and I can't wait to beat Two Belts Moné.
I love that. So you're back in New York City. Any go-to spots here in the city that you like to check out when you have the time?
They just closed down. I used to go to this place across from the Barclays Center all the time, and I always got pasta and pizza, which sucks. And now I don't have a go-to place anymore. I need recommendations.
So you know what? I'll give you the recommendations off air, or John, who's here with All Elite Wrestling,
Okay.
he can give you. He lives in the area. He'll hook it all up.
I want something delicious.
Well, it's New York City, baby. Most things are delicious.
Most things, right?
You
I
gotta
gotta get ready for Sunday, so I can't get too bad,
The celebratory.
After party.
There you go.
Yeah.
The card. That's when you overload on the carbs. Any favorite memories in New York City in your career?
Always NXT 2015 Brooklyn Takeover is absolutely like my favorite match of all time. The reason why I feel like I'm the TBS champion and the wrestler that I am today, so that one is always a memory. And then just always coming out here to train with Amazing Red. I came last night at House of Glory and stopped by to get ready for my match this Sunday, and just those memories alone, I love Amazing Red since I was a teenager. So just to be able to train with a legend like that, still pick his brain after so long. I've been training with him since 2015. So it's just so cool how much I've evolved with learning from him, but even just seeing his students evolve. Even Private Party, now they're in AEW. I remember when they were just little kids training with them, and now they're here. So Brooklyn always has a really special place in my heart.
Now, you use the words evolve, which obviously everybody brings up, like kind of the women's evolution. I have some fan questions, and somebody wanted to know Daniel Garcia, not that one.
Oh.
Not that one. We have an intern here with
I
that
wouldn't
name.
be surprised, though,
That's
right?
a great point. Where do you want to be remembered in the lexicon of women's wrestling?
I want to be remembered as one of the greatest of all times, someone who didn't take no for an answer, someone who knocked down every single door that was locked in front of her, and someone who just is a badass and so brave and that follows her heart.
Something that I think is interesting is, a few years ago you did a Stone Cold podcast, and you were yourself. You were just you, unapologetically you, which I've always been a fan of you. It's interesting because there was so much stuff on social media afterward, kind of like you're doing the most, you're doing too much, you're being too this, you're being too that. And as a minority myself, I'm 100% Puerto Rican. I feel like most times a person of color kind of comes out and stands their ground, there's an issue. Have you ever felt that, not only as a person of color, but oh, by the way, you're a woman?
Every time. Anything I do, anything I say, there's always going to be noise. But for me, I live by the quote, be so good you can't be ignored. I work so hard that my work can't be denied. They can talk all they want on the internet. They can talk to their friends that blah, 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 blah. My work can't be denied. My name can't be left out of their mouth. So I know that I'm doing something right. I know that I'm leaving a legacy. And not only if I'm doing it for the state of wrestling, I'm doing this for myself. So I love wrestling so much, and it's this fulfillment that I get when I perform, and just knowing that I'm here to make a difference and be the best while I do it.
My quote that I live by is, don't let anybody tell you shit about your dreams.
There you go. Yeah.
You've had the dream of being a wrestler. Do you kind of remember what it was, that moment, that match, that memory that made you go, okay, now I definitely have to go into this full time. I'm no longer just a fan. This has got to be my life.
It was just instantly seeing Eddie Guerrero come out, and I was just like, what is this? This is cool. And then just watching it every single week, there was just like a connection that I just couldn't like keep my eyes off of him. There's something about his matches that I just love so much. I loved him more than The Rock. You know, it's just I loved Eddie Guerrero, and just the more studying that I did, I was like, this is my sole purpose because I have an obsession with wrestling. Ever since I laid my eyes on it, I couldn't not stop dreaming about it. I'm at school looking out the window, just thinking about wrestling. I'm just going home thinking about wrestling. For friends ask me to go play with them outside. I can't. I got to watch wrestling. Like, it just became such an obsession. And then finally, when I turned 18, I joined a wrestling school. And then here's all my dreams, 14 years later. It's crazy. When you follow your dreams, you manifest, and you work hard, you can go anywhere.
I opened this up to a bunch of fans. So a buddy of mine named David wants to know, what is your favorite Eddie Guerrero match?
That's so hard for me because there's so many. But I really love Eddie versus Ray at WrestleMania 21.
Opened the show.
They opened the show. Mm-hmm. They were tag team partners. And it's because for me, this was like my first match where Eddie never cheated. He never did. He never tried to cheat. And I just love that match so much. And then, of course, Eddie versus Ray, Halloween Havoc. I love those matches. Anything with Eddie DiMalenko, Eddie and Kurt Angle. There's just so many things with Eddie. He is so versatile and can do it all. And I was just like, I want to be like him. So anything Eddie. But those are my top two.
So it's funny because, like, I'm a huge fan of wrestling. I'm a diehard fan. Ultimate Warrior tattoo. Like, I'm all in, right? And no pun intended.
Where's the tattoo at?
Right on my bicep. I got it when I was younger.
Cool.
I find it fascinating. As a kid, I had my favorite match of all time. And then as you get older and you listen to podcasts and you listen to performers now kind of break down matches, and it gives you a different appreciation of how matches are constructed and kind of the storytelling of a match. When as a kid, you just want to see fun shit, right? Yeah. What was your favorite match when you were younger? Maybe not an Eddie match, just a match in general. And then what's your favorite match now as an adult and someone that's in the industry?
Ooh. I have favorite matches all the time because I watch wrestling weekly. I watch everything. God, what can I think of? I love anything Marufuji from Pro Wrestling Noah. I love AJ Styles. I love Claudio Castagnoli. I love watching him. Who else is a go-to? I like Zack Sabre Jr. I love his technique in different styles. Mystico down in CMLL. There's so many different matches that I love watching, and it's just hard to choose just one because there's so many companies, and there's great matches every single week.
And it's all subjective, like based on what you want. Some people like the hardcore style, some people like the more technical style.
I hate the hardcore style, so I'm not going to judge off of that. But I love I love the Lucha Libre. I love the British wrestling. I love American style. I love it all.
Who would you say is the most underrated performer in North America today?
Can I in AEW?
Anywhere that you have noticed where you go, oh, I've been watching them, or they caught my eye on Twitter, YouTube, and BOW. I've been following them, and they deserve just a little more.
I think Willow is such a superstar. I think she's going to be something so massive. She just has to keep on being herself. She is. She's so beautiful. We have so many amazing women. Toni Storm is killing it. Thunder Rosa has such a hunger and a fight for more. Sky Blue, working her butt off every single week. Anything that's asked of her, she does, and more for the women in the locker room. So I can just go down that list. There's so many. And Chris Statlander, such a strong, powerful woman. Used to be a stunt woman. Mariah May used to be just a super fan. Took her butt, flew herself to Japan, went to Stardom to learn. And now she is just one of the greatest that we have on the roster. So it's just top to bottom. And these are all girls I've never wrestled with before. They're all girls that I just want them to have the brightest light and the brightest opportunity to show how great they are.
How would you say your wrestling style has evolved the last few years, especially going from WWE to New Japan briefly because of the injury and then now in AEW?
I try to be a lot smarter. Especially I have to think about who I work with and who can you trust with moves and what moves not to do with some people because it's the longevity. And I do a lot of high-flying moves and landing on my knees, and I like to do dives sometimes or doing flying knees to the floor. So it's a lot just thinking about when I want to pull out these crazy stuffs and what moments mean the most and not doing too much. That's what I'm learning about so much more now. I don't have to do so much to get a reaction. I don't have to do too many moves. I don't have to take so many bumps to get the same feeling for the fans to react a certain way. So I feel like I'm becoming more of a vet too, of just like, all right, kid, I'm not going to take that bump, but we can do it like this. And
No,
I can
thank
do it
you,
like
friend.
this, so things like that.
Did anybody take you to the side when you were starting out to kind of give you that advice? And at the time you were kind of like, I got this.
No, I never had I got this. I've had a lot of great coaches who have changed my life. The first is probably Joey Mercury, Norman Smiley.
The Big Wiggle.
Yeah, I've learned so much from Terry Taylor. William Regal, I wouldn't be in the WWE without him. Someone that believed in me the most. Dusty Rhodes, someone that pulled me aside in his room and just talked to me about promos and character. Amazing Red. I can go on and on of just these guys that will give me so much sound advice in this business, and I'm so thankful for it.
Now I want to switch gears a little bit, if you don't mind. I have a 4-year-old nonverbal nephew. He's neurodiverse. Siblings unintentionally get forgotten because of all the attention that has to go to the other child that's neurodiverse. What advice would you have for siblings that have a neurodiverse sibling, or even just a family member in general?
You kind of have to find your own escape. Wrestling was my escape, and I knew that's a place that I can always run to when I couldn't scream or cry or get the attention from myself. That's why I feel like I loved wrestling. You're larger than life. You just have to find your own little passion that makes you feel so special that you don't need anybody's attention, because you just can watch something or feel something or draw something or create something. Just be creative in finding who you are and what makes you happy.
I love that. I mean, you recently had the autism sneakers, the deal with, was it Champs, I believe? Was it a Champ Sports deal? Super dope, by the way.
Thank you.
And I get very touchy when I talk about my nephew, because it's just one of those things
that's thing.
It is.
A special thing.
It is. And it took me a while to realize that.
Yeah.
I'm getting like emotional, but it sucks, But anyway, my sister actually quit her job and started a nonprofit where basically, and I don't know what the family struggles were, but it takes so long to get diagnosed that she created these sensory boxes to send to family. So in that 3 to 9 to 12 months of waiting for the diagnosis, you can kind of self-diagnose to an extent by this box the sensory box that she's giving. So I knew that, like,
That's
when
a
it came,
beautiful thing.
when it came to like the autism thing, I was like, I want to talk to you about that, because I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about as much.
And that's in any industry. We don't talk about special needs at all because people just don't pay attention to what they need. And it's such a struggle. I deal with it daily with my brother, deal with it with my mom. My mom's been dealing with this for 30 years. That's how old my brother is. It's very hard to go through. But there needs to be more voices like you and your sister to help these children, to be their voice, because they are so special in this world for a reason, and we need to take care of them and give them their special needs that they need. And
also, like, I don't know, like the public school system you went to or whatever, but it was basically, like, looking back, like, fucked up, dude. Like, literally a special ed wing where you knew, like, if you were in this wing, and there was like this negative, like, connotation towards any student that was like on this hallway or whatever, and it's like that legitimate segregation for no reason.
But it's just, people are learning, we're growing, and we have to be the educators to the educators. So keep on educating people. That
is the quote I'm taking away from this entire thing. As cool as wrestling is, that's it right there. But let's switch gears a little bit. We got a couple minutes left. This is called the Superstar Crossover Podcast. So the previous guest has a question for the next guest. The previous guest happened to be AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
He wanted to know,
what has the wrestling business done to make you a better person?
It's changed my life. It has given me so many more hopes and dreams and opportunity, and taking me to places I've never dreamt of before. I've traveled the world, and I never thought I was going to travel the world how I have. It's made people treat me kind of disrespectfully, but really with a lot of respect as well. And it's given me opportunity to provide for my family, which is huge, and provide for myself, and not feel like I have to be scared of anything, because I can just pull out this card and be like, I'm safe. Thank you, Tony, so much. Thank you, Tony. Love you.
I'm a girl dad. What sport do you advise that my daughter get into as the first sport she gets into, aside from something that she loves? Obviously, that's the answer. Whatever she's passionate about, that's where she's going to go to.
I would say either gymnastics or like jiu-jitsu. Self-protection, yeah.
Thank you. I want to do MMA.
Yeah.
Her mom, not so much. Her mom wants to do gymnastics.
Both
so
are
you
good. I would, because jiu-jitsu, it's a lot of rolling too. That's gymnastics. But you need, especially as a woman, protection. You got to protect yourself. You need to know self-defense, at least 1 or 2 or 3 things, and practice your voice. Your voice has to be heard. Even just screaming, just your voice has to be heard. Keep on using your voice.
Less than a minute left. I'm going to just throw you some quick, either this or that, or quick question with an answer. You ready? Yep. Clear your mind, girl. Here we go. Patriots or Celtics?
I'm going to go Celtics right now, just because we won.
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
New York City or LA?
New York City.
A better tag team champion partner, Naomi or Bailey?
Oh, you're trying to get me slapped, huh?
Goddamn right. I'm trying
you're trying to get me hurt.
Trying to stir it up, baby.
You really are. And I won tag team titles with both of them. Damn. Would I walk with Bailey? Yeah, hell yeah, I would. I'm down for both. Both of them are my girls. I can't choose.
Fair. Favorite Street Fighter character?
Ryu.
There you go. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet. Who's in the Backstreet Boys? Backstreet? Who's all of them?
Howie, Nick, Brian. If you're thinking of Justin Timberlake, that's NSYNC with Justin Timberlake,
okay, yeah,
JC.
I know. I guess Lance growing up.
Okay, yeah.
Cute.
That's NSYNC.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. What's your favorite cocktail?
Mezcal.
Really?
Just a straight up shot. Yeah, a straight up shot of mezcal with the orange slice.
Dog, let me tell you something about drinking in like your 30s. That shit does not hit the same. The recovery time ain't it.
Well, no, not drinking, not getting blacked out. You can't do that anymore. But you can have a nice 3 to 5 shots of tequila, and not shots like downing them down. Tequila, you sip them.
You're better than me, girl.
It's
I got a lot more weight on you, but you are definitely better than me.
Yeah.
Who's more bitter nowadays, Ronda Rousey or Bret Hart?
I think Ronda.
I love it. One more time, Mercedes Moné.
Hey.
Or you can put the Moan in Monet. We appreciate you coming, TBS champion. Thank you, girl.
Thank you for having me.